girl named Gemma told me that back in 2016, she thinks that something otherworldly saved her life. She said that in 2016, she was 23 years old and she was road tripping from New Jersey to South Carolina. She told me she was headed somewhere for spring break and she was traveling alone. As you do on road trips, Gemma would periodically have to stop for gas. As she's driving down the road, she sees a billboard sign that says basically last gas before something, creating that emergency situation in your head. Great marketing. She told me she glances at her gas tank, realizes she is getting pretty low, so she may as well just go on ahead and stop. She says she pulls off the exit and immediately she's feeling regret because she's looking around and all she's seeing are empty fields. There is nothing around. She told me she keeps driving for a little bit longer and out of nowhere pops this brand new, new construction, super clean gas station. She pulls in and she realizes she's about the only car there. There's one other car in the parking lot. She's thinking this just must be whoever works here. She decides that since it seems safe, it's daytime and there's really nobody else around, she's going to go inside. She's going to grab some water. She's going to grab some snacks. She's got a long trip ahead of her. She gets out of her car and she starts walking into the store, and she says that out of nowhere, this black beat up older Honda CRV comes speeding into the parking lot. At this point, she told me she's about halfway into the store and this car pulls up, slams on brakes right between her and the entrance to the gas station. She told me that immediately alarm bells are going off because something just doesn't feel right. She says that the CRV then rolls down the windows and inside are two guys who look like they haven't showered in a very long time. She told me that they just look at her and they say, "Hey, the guy in the back seat, he says that he knows you. Come here." Alarm bell's still going off because she says that she knows that there's no way that someone in the back seat knows her. She is miles away from home. She kind of stands there for a second trying to figure out what to do. If she turns around and heads back to her car, it's quite possible they could open the door and grab her before she gets there. If she decides to go in the store, she's going to have to walk in front of the car or behind the car, and they could grab her again as well. She told me that she just kind of panics and she tells them, "There's no way that anyone in your backseat knows me. My boyfriend is inside, so I need to get in there before he starts to worry about me." Gemma said that they probably know this is a lie. They had probably been watching her since she pulled in and knows that she's the only one who got out of her vehicle. She says she didn't really know what else to do and kind of figured this was her best chance. Unfortunately, this does not deter the two men in the Honda CRV. They keep saying, "No, the guy in the back says he knows you. Come here, come here." The red flags are flagging at this point for her. She is still telling them, "No, I'm not coming there. I don't know anyone in your back seat." This just makes the men in the car more frustrated, and the guy in the passenger seat actually goes to open the door to the vehicle. She sees the door open. She says that her heart is pounding. Out of nowhere, she says, comes this guy. She told me that she remembers every detail about him. He was wearing khaki pants, a pressed button-down white shirt. He was tall, and he had curly blonde hair. She said he looked to be about 30. Before the guy has a chance to open the car door, this other guy actually shuts it on him. The window to the car is still rolled down, and this guy looks at these guys inside the car, and he says, "What are you doing?" The guys in the car once again repeat to him and say, "The guy in the back says that he knows this girl." She said that this guy made no qualms about getting close to these men or getting close to the vehicle. So he just walks even closer to the vehicle, kind of leans his head in and looks in the back seat and says to both of the men sitting in the front, "There's no one in the back seat, so I don't know what you're talking about." Gemma says that she is still standing there absolutely speechless. But this just kind of verifies for her this was nefarious. She says the tall guy with the curly blonde hair who had come to her rescue and shut the car door looks at the two guys in the seats and he tells them, "I don't know what you're doing, but you need to leave before this gets bad." He does not turn around to Gemma when he says this, but he continues to make eye contact with the two men in the car. She said immediately their faces go kind of pale and they look very afraid. He said that the guy in the driver's seat holds his hands up and he says, "Listen, man, we really don't want any trouble." He says that the guy with the curly blonde hair looks at them and he says, "I didn't think so. You need to go." The guys in the Honda CRV slowly put their car into drive and very calmly drive away from this gas station. Gemma says that this tall guy with the blonde hair looks at her and he says, "I think that you are going inside." He tells her, "I'm going to walk you in." He walks up to the door to the gas station. He holds it open for her and she goes inside. She says that she is still kind of having an adrenaline rush at this point, but she realizes, I didn't even tell him thank you. Before the door to the gas station even closes, she turns around to look at him and he has vanished. The door is closing slowly. He had held it open for her. She turns around. He is no longer there. She says immediately she turns around and she runs back outside and she looks all over the place. There is no other vehicle there and this man is gone. Now remember, it was empty fields all around. There was nowhere for this guy to go. She says it just kind of in a daze. She's like, "What?" So she goes in, she grabs a water, she grabs some snacks, she goes up, she puts them down on the counter. She says that the cashier at the gas station asks her, "Did those guys bother you?" Now, mind you, this whole interaction had only lasted maybe 1 minute. Gemma tells the guy, I don't know, they pulled up next to me and said that the guy in the back seat knew me and then they tried to get out, but thankfully the other guy showed up. The cashier at the gas station said, "What other guy?" And she said, "The tall guy with the blonde hair and the white shirt." Cashier says, "I don't know what you're talking about. I was getting ready to come out there, but they drove off." Gemma told me that this really does freak her out because she's thinking, I don't know how the person working in here didn't look out the windows and see this other guy. Gemma told me she's still kind of walking around in a daze, doesn't really want to make a big deal about it, and just gets her stuff and gets back in her car and gets back on the road. She said looking back on it, she really wishes that she would have asked the guy, "Can we pull up the security footage?" because she is certain that there were cameras that were pointed at the car and pointed at the entrance. She says that all she knows is that this man came out of absolutely nowhere, got her out of a situation that she thinks could have been very bad. Gemma told me that when she tells people this story, they often ask her, "Why would the clerk who was working at the gas station not come outside and check on you?" She always tells them the interaction was very fast. She said, I'm sure that this man sees people who know each other all day. They're pulling up in cars, they're talking. Considering the men never actually physically got out of the vehicle and she really didn't look threatened, just assumes that at the time when this was taking place that he just thought they must know each other. She doesn't want anyone to hold any ill will to the clerk who was working at the gas station that day. Women told me she has no idea where this guy came from or where he disappeared to or how he was possibly that fast to run across open fields to where she could not find him again. It was literally 2 seconds of her walking in the door and turning around to say something. She said this guy disappeared before the door that he even held open for me had fully shut. She told me that she has tossed it around in her head over and over. Was it a ghost? Was it an angel? Was it a spirit? She says that she just doesn't know. She said that whatever saved her that day, she is very thankful. What do you guys think he was? As always, thank you so much for listening. If you have a story that you want to send me, there's an email in my bio or you're welcome to send me a DM. Always have a great day and please don't forget to wear your sunscreen.